In previous lecture, you have learnt about the Euclid's postulates and conditional statements and their converse. In previous lecture, I had cleared that the concept of theorem and given part and to prove part of the theorem. All of you studied about that logically proved. All of you studied about that logically proved geometrical statements are called as theorem, and theorem can be proved by two ways, that is direct method as well as indirect method. Let us solve or discuss about the theorem which proved by direct method. Then let us prove one of the property of vertically opposite angles formed by two intersecting lines by direct method. Then see here the property of vertically opposite angles, that is vertically opposite angles formed by two intersecting lines are congruent. That means, see here, if there are two intersecting lines, because of that intersecting lines, two pairs of vertically opposite angles are formed. See here, line AB and line CD intersects in a point O. Then angle AOD and angle COB are vertically opposite angles, as well as angle AOC and angle BOD are also vertically opposite angles which are congruent. That means here angle AOC is equals to angle BOD. Then see here, we have to write the given part using this diagram. Then here line AB and line CD intersect at a point O. See here, and here A dash O dash B, that means A, O, B are collinear points, as well as C dash O dash D, that means C, O and D are collinear points. Then we have to prove the property, that is vertically opposite angles are congruent. Therefore, there are two pairs of vertically opposite angles, angle AOD congruent angle BOC and angle AOC congruent angle BOD. Then we have to prove only one of the pair, vertically opposite pair, which are congruent. Then similarly, using the same method, we can prove the another pair of vertically opposite angles are congruent. Then we can give the proof on the basis of postulates. Postulate means the few properties or geometrical statements which are proved already using few activities, and here we are going to use, that is linear pair of angles which are supplementary. That property of linear pair angle we have to use here to prove this property, that is vertically opposite angle property. Then see here, line AB and line CD intersect in a point O. Therefore here A dash O dash B, that means there are angle AOD, angle BOD are linear pair angles. Therefore angle AOD plus angle BOD is equals to 180 degree. Let this equation number 1, because these are linear pair angles. Similarly, angle here DOB, because here C dash O dash D also. Therefore angle BOD and angle BOC are linear pair angles. Therefore angle BOD plus angle BOC is equals to 180 degree. Let this equation number 2, and that is because of here property is used. These are linear pair angles, and all of you have learnt about that. Linear pair angles are supplementary, that means sum of linear pair of angles is 180 degree. Then from equation 1 and 2, see here right hands are same. Therefore angle AOD plus angle BOD is equals to angle BOD plus angle BOC, and here angle BOD and angle BOD get both side that get cancelled. Therefore here angle AOD congruent angle BOC, that is the proof of this theorem. Angle AOD congruent angle BOC, that is the proof of this theorem. That means vertically opposite angles are congruent. Similarly we can prove that angle AOC congruent angle BOD. It is not necessary to prove this property in detail. We can only write similarly we can prove the angle AOC congruent angle BOD. That means by this method we can also prove angle AOC congruent angle BOD. That is the direct method to prove the properties of theorem. Let us discuss one more theorem which is proved by indirect method. That is the theorem of prime number. All of you have studied about that. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19 are prime numbers. And see here, out of this only 2 is even prime number. That is, which is prime number as well as even number. And the remaining all prime numbers which are odd numbers. These are odd prime numbers. Then see here, and the prime number, what is prime number? The prime number of which divisors are only 2. That means if 2 is a prime number, then divisor of 2 is 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are the divisors of that prime number. That means prime number have only 2 divisors, 1 and the number itself. All of you studied it in previous standard and previous lecture. Then see here, 5 is prime number, therefore its divisors are 1 and 5 itself. Similarly, 19 is a prime number, therefore divisor of 19 is 1 and 19. 23 is a prime number, therefore divisor of 23 is 1 and 23. That means the prime number which having only two divisors, that is 1 and the number itself. Then see here, the property of prime number, that is prime number which is greater than, prime number greater than 2 are odd numbers, That means, see here, first we convert this statement into if and then form. Then see here, if the prime number which is greater than 2, then those prime numbers are odd numbers. Then using this statement, the same property which is written in the form of if and then it is convenient to write the given part and to prove part of this theorem. Then we have to write the given, that is, see here, prime number which is greater than 2. That means here, let us consider P is a prime number. P is prime number and P is greater than 2. That means P is a prime number and P is greater than 2 is in the antecedent. Therefore, it is written in given part. And we have to prove that is the consequent is written in to prove part. Then prime number are odd number. Then those prime numbers are odd number. That means the prime number which is greater than 2 are odd number. Therefore, P is a prime number which is greater than 2. Therefore, P is a odd number. Then considering one of the prime number which is greater than 2, that is here P. That means P is a, we have considered the P number is a prime number as well as it is a greater than 2, and we have to prove that P is a prime number which is greater than 2 is odd number. Then see here, we have to prove this property by indirect method. When we give the proof of any theorem by indirect method, we have to consider the statement, that is the opposite statement of the statement which is given into to prove. That means see here, we have to prove the property P is an odd number. That means the opposite statement of this property is P is not an odd number. Then we can give the proof by considering the opposite statement of this statement. Therefore, in the proof, first of all, we have to consider, let us consider P is not an odd number. That means we have to consider here P is not an odd number. Then let this equation number 1, because we have considered here P is not an odd number. Then all of you studied that P is a prime number, but here P is prime number and the prime number which having only two divisors. Therefore, as P is a prime number, therefore divisor of P is 1 and P. 1 and P itself, that number. Let this equation number 2. And here P is prime number which is given and P is also greater than 2, that is also given, and therefore as P is greater than 2, then see here P is greater than 2, therefore here we have to write the divisor of that is here divisor of P is 2. Let this equation number 3. And see here we have considered here P is not an odd number. That means according to this concept P is even number. See here P is even number and P is greater than 2. That means P is multiple of 2. Therefore divisor of P is 2. Therefore see here from equation number 2 and 3, from the statement 2 and 3, see here P is prime number and therefore prime number has only two divisors, only 1 and P. But from statement 3rd, see here divisor of P is 2 also, because it is even number, and if it is even number and it is greater than 2, therefore divisor of P is 2. That means from equation 1, 2 and 3, divisor of P are 1, 2 and P. But it is contradictory. But P is prime number. Then prime number does not have 3 divisors. Therefore here as P has 3 divisors, therefore P is not a prime number. But it is contradictory. That means these are the two contradictory statements, and this statement is here opposite of the property which is considered in given, that is P is a prime number, and these two statements are contradictory, and it is because we consider P is not an odd number. Therefore we have to change this statement that P is an odd number. That is the proof of this theorem by indirect method, which is based on logical thinking and logical concept, that is an imaginary part of the imaginary thinking. Then see here there are few examples given in the practice set 1.3, and there few examples which is based on conditional statements and their converse. Then we will solve those examples from practice set 1.3. That type of examples we have solved in previous lecture. Then let us solve the examples from practice set 1.3. Question number 1, that is given here. The few statements or few properties are given in the question number 1, and we have to write the following statements using if and then. Then write the following statements using if and then. The first example or first statement which is given here, that is opposite sides of parallelogram are parallel to each other. Then we have to write this statement using if and then. See here, if the quadrilateral is parallelogram, then opposite sides of parallelogram of it are parallel. Then one more statement is given here, that is diagonals of rectangle are congruent. When using if and then, this statement becomes, if quadrilateral is rectangle, then diagonals of it are congruent. Then see here in question number 2, few statements are also given and we have to write the converse of those statements. Then one of the statement is given in it, that is diagonals of rectangle are congruent. Then we have to write the converse of that statement. First of all, while writing the converse of given statement, first of all we have to write that statement using if and then. Already we have written this. Then changing the consequent and that is alternate, then we have to write the converse of it. Then see here, if diagonals of quadrilateral are congruent, then that quadrilateral is rectangle. Then see here, one more statement is given here, that is alternate angles which are formed by, see here, alternate angles formed by two parallel lines and transversal are congruent. Then we have to write the converse of this statement. Then before writing the converse of this statement, we have to write that statement using if and then. See here, if the alternate angles formed by two parallel lines and transversal, then those alternate angles are congruent. We can write the converse of this statement. Then see here, if the transversal intersect two lines and alternate angles formed are congruent, then those lines are parallel to each other. That is about the examples from practice set 1.3. Then solve the remaining examples from practice set 1.3 and do the practice of writing the theorems given in the textbook. Thank you.